let's really narrow down. What does it look like if Seattle is going to win this football game? Let's break it down. All right, we got Toxic in the chat saying that the voice is really out of sync. So that's incredibly frustrating that is a thing that's happening. So probably what we're going to do, going to finish this segment, and then if it's still a problem, we'll bail on this. I'll bring out the PlayStation, and we'll keep the NBA trade deadline stuff going with our NBA 2K, and the wrestling and the UFC and all that is just going to have to be recorded at a different time, because I don't want to mess with anything today on the podcast stuff and the basketball and everything. So let me know if it improves over the next little bit here. But while we're waiting on that, it's Super Bowl 60. Seattle is the favorite, and a lot of people are anticipating that they will win, but what does it have to look like for them to actually win? Let's break it down here. We will start on offense. I think a couple things have to happen. A, Darnold has to get into some kind of a rhythm and has to be a major factor in this. He was a couple of weeks ago against the Rams in the NFC title game. He has been at a bunch of different times this season, so you can assume that he can be again. You don't have to coach this game like you're afraid of your quarterback. You can kind of get him going. But the big one for me is if Seattle is going to win this game, one of Jackson Smith-Njigba or Kenneth Walker III are going to take over. It's either Walker running all over, a run defense that admittedly has been very good this season, or JSN dicing up a secondary that, as we've talked about before, has had trouble with guys of his caliber all season long, and even a slight caliber below. They have had some trouble with those guys this season. So that's what it looks like offensively, is that a couple of the skill position guys just start absolutely dominating, and it just gets New England kind of scratching and clawing. Again, I think a high-scoring game, I do think it favors Seattle here, given how explosive their offense can be and how good their defense is as well. But honestly, like a low-scoring game, I think it kind of favors Seattle too. Again, we've talked about it a bunch. I'm fully on the Seattle side here. And maybe there's a bit of haterade being consumed. I don't think so. Today it's just a yerba mate, but maybe there's a bit of a hater going on here. Sorry for just drinking in all of your ears. I really don't think it is. I think Seattle is set up in a really good way. Defensively, winning the line of scrimmage battle is kind of a must. And I think easier on the defensive side for them. Like we've talked about, some offensive line issues for New England as these playoffs have gone on. Just teams haven't been able to take advantage of some of the mistakes that have happened for New England. But also, like, Sam Darnold can't be running for his life all game. That's where mistakes happen. And that's where big problems start to pop up for this football team. So win that line of scrimmage battle. And I think a big thing for them is going to be bottling up that deep pass game. I think they're going to be, if they turn this into a Drake Maye is running for a few yards and they're trying to dink and dunk their way up the field, that's advantage Seattle. Where this game can get a little bit closer and where New England, I think, can kind of narrow that gap is if they start to hit on a couple of those deep passes, like a deep one to Booty and something like that. It really levels that playing field a little bit more. So they have to keep a top on what New England is doing offensively to be successful in this game. So those are, I guess, the path to victory for the Seattle Seahawks coming up here in Super Bowl 60. Anything I miss? Let me know, either in the chat or in the comments if you are watching this after the fact. Also, if you're listening to this in podcast form, get at me on social media and we can keep talking about the Super Bowl. I am at Primetime Klein on Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky.